The history of Khirbet el-Mekadr begins 4,000 years ago with the patriarch Abraham. The Bible says in Genesis 12 that Abram came to the hills between Bethel and Ai. Just to the north, about a half a mile from here, is the ancient site of Et-Tel, which was the Ai of Abraham's day. Just to the west of us, about 2 miles from here, are two sites, El-Bira and Betin. One of these two sites was ancient Bethel. We have Bethel to the west and Ai to the north. There are two hills between Bethel and Ai during Abraham's time. No doubt Abraham would have been spread over these two hills with his flocks and his men and his household. The Bible says he came here, he built an altar, and he called on the name of the Lord. In chapter 13, he returns to this place with his nephew Lot. It's from here that they part ways. Lot goes east and he pitches his tents near Sodom. 500 years later, the Bible records in Joshua 7 and 8 that there's an epic battle that takes place. Chapter 7 of Joshua, the Israelites are defeated by the Canaanites or Amorites that live in this small fortress. In chapter 8, they have victory. The Bible says that there was a hill to the north, there was an ambush site to the west, there was a gate to the north of the site, and many other indicators, both archaeological and geographical, that we have found in the last 21 years of excavation here at Khirbet el-Mekadr, which have led us to the conclusion that this is the Ai of Joshua's day. The city was destroyed around 1400 BC at the end of the Late Bronze period, Late Bronze 1 period. Then it lies dormant for about 200 years until the Iron Age. Just up the slope here, the early Israelites dug into the Bronze Age wall and built 4 houses that we found. Another one was built just below me here, continuing on into the Iron 2A period. We find in there that early material culture in the central highlands of Israel that span all the way from Hebron in the south to Shechem in the north. The site is then occupied sporadically down till about the year 200 BC, when in the late Hellenistic period, a fortified city is built here of about 5 acres. You have a few hundred people living on the site. It's during this time that there is a wave of ritual purity that sweeps through late Second Temple period Judaism. They construct the mikvah here. We have 3 different mikvot that we have found. They begin to use ritual stoneware. We just found a complete stoneware cup yesterday on top of the floor of a cistern. They begin to practice this ritual purity that we read about in the New Testament. No doubt that this site is a site of Jewish believers in that late Second Temple period. In the 1st century AD, a large tower is added onto the fortifications on the north end of the site. It's heavily fortified. We believe that this may very well be Ephraim, mentioned in John 11:54, the place where Jesus spent the last month of his life prior to the triumphal entry. The site was destroyed by the Romans in 69 AD. We have over 1,200 coins. They all end in the year 69 AD. After its destruction, nothing happened for 300 years until the Byzantine believers arrived, and they came on the hill right up here on the crest, and they built a beautiful church in the 4th century, which was destroyed by the earthquake of 383, rebuilt as a triapsidal church, and continued in use until the earthquake of 749. Why did they build the church? They were trying to commemorate a biblical event. Was it Abraham? Was it Joshua? Was it Jesus? We don't know. But the history of the site is rich, beginning with Abraham on through the early Byzantine period.